what's up? This is Seafood Cuddle, and in this video, we're going to be working with the nunchucks. So, not only do I want you to grab your nunchucks, but I also want you to grab a stick for this one, okay? So, let's get to work. Okay, for this one, we're going to start with the stick. It's a lot easier to use the stick because you don't have to control one wild section with the section that you're trying to control in the first place. Right here, it's just one solid thing. Now, if you haven't seen already, I try to make sure that the stick is the length of my extended nunchucks. Now this one is actually a little bit longer, but that's totally fine because you get more spatial awareness that way. All right, now we're gonna work with a simple figure eight. The figure eight itself, I'm gonna have a grip with usually my index finger and my thumb, but here I can also use my middle finger, and then my ring finger and my pinky are gonna be there to control. So that I still need to keep a pretty loose grip with the other fingers, but they still need to be there, and they're gonna have moments where they squeeze to add that control. Now from here, I'm gonna grab the stick so I have more end in front of me than behind me, and then what I'm gonna do is actually lead with that little end, okay? So I'm gonna take this stick, turn it upside down, bring it across my body, and then I'm gonna come up and across this way. So I wanna go an upward diagonal, starting with the back end of the stick, and then I'm gonna point towards the corner. Now once I'm there, I just bring it down, and then again, I'm just gonna start with that little end of the stick, and then bring it up and across. So we do this nice figure eight right here. Once you can do the big figure eight, you wanna make it smaller. So what we do to make sure that we can make it smaller is instead of turning the body and using this arm to lead, we're gonna relax the elbow, relax the shoulder, and then relax the wrist. Now I still need to turn a little bit here and there to make sure that I can get that momentum across, prevent myself from getting hit, but this is what we wanna be able to do, okay? So work on this one. This one's the upward figure eight. Now, you also have to be able to do this in a downward direction too, okay? Now, this one is actually a very simple one, and most people can do it just by looking at it or just by simply picking up a stick and starting to spin. But what I want you to do is think of hitting downward and diagonal, okay? So like drawing an X in front of you. So I'm gonna draw an X down here, turn it over, draw the line down on the other side. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, you'll find if I'm trying to draw specifically like this with my hand, and I change it over, this is not gonna make for a good spin. What I have to do is use the front of my hand and then the back of my hand to do it. So front of the hand, back of the hand. As you do this with the stick, you're gonna go with the front of the hand coming down, and then I flip it over, and now I use the back of the hand, fingers pointing towards me. This is how you can narrow it down so that it becomes nice and next to the body, and a nice flexible circular pattern. Okay. Work on those two with the stick. When you're comfortable, grab your foam nunchucks and we can test it out. If you're really comfortable with your nunchucks, just go ahead and grab those. Okay, so with our nunchucks, you're going to want to make sure, again, this is a spin, so we're going to grab a little bit closer to the chain. Now the angle that I will probably have is not flat out. I will probably have it on this side, it'll come around, and then it'll figure eight on this side. Okay, so this is one where you want to have some extension. If it's too close, you have to have a very wide figure eight. Now the wide figure eight isn't that bad, but you can't move as fast. If you want to move a faster figure eight, you have to have a little bit more extension so you can keep it tighter with the nunchuck. And again, I don't want to have this come too close to where I can hit myself. Okay, so a nice quick spin right here, figure eight downward, keeping the extension, and then we want to work with an upward figure eight too. Okay, now I can do the figure eights towards any direction if I have the right extension. So if I start in front of the body, I have a figure eight here, or if I want to do my figure eight over to the corner, I can do it there, or I can figure eight to the other side. Where this becomes important is when you start using double weapons. So you want to have your figure eight out in front of you here, okay? So, simple combination, or a simple technique, but it's very important that you work on both your upward figure eight and your downward figure eight, okay? So, get to work on those ones. Check out some of the other videos in my nunchuck playlist. Make sure to like this video, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Now also, I will leave a link at the very end for my Patreon. If you have a chance, go check that out. I have a lot of applications that I make videos for over there. They're more in-depth lessons to kind of explain more of what the movements are doing. Okay, so I have a lot of applications for Kung-Fu combinations and Choi Lei Fut Kung-Fu in general. Okay, till next time, this is Sifu Cuddle.
Bam! Fist with a faux hawk.